Hi, this is Jacob at Kinnettic Kreations, here to show you our plug-and-play backup light system for the RZR. Our kit comes with this light bar, the harness plug into the light bar, a switch with a lead on it that'll plug into our module. It will have a different front. We haven't got them in yet. We got some laser ones in the order. And then our backup light controller. We also have to mount the lights to the back of the roll cage. Got a set of clamps, some bolts and spacers, so it goes right on there. It's really easy to install. This just plugs into your diagnostic port and it works on any Polaris. This will plug into the harness that goes to the light, and this plugs into the switch. And the switch turns on the light bar even when the vehicle's off, so you can use it as a work light too, so it doubles up as a bed light. Alright, so first we're going to install our light bar in the back. Climb in here. We're going to mount it right about here. So you'll need a 4mm Allen wrench to bolt these clamps in place. The way we have them set up is you'll mount the clamps vertical so the holes go horizontally. When you do it upside down so the bolts don't fall out, make sure you flip the clamp the right way. Tighten it so it's snug and it doesn't fall, but it also holds where it needs to go. Can't forget the rubber inserts, or it won't grip. Alright, and we want to put them equal distance from up top. So your light bar is not cockeyed. And what we do is we have our bolt washer go in the hole. Our spacer goes on that. It throws right in the light bar. And you'll want to put the plug on the driver's side of the machine. That way when we drop the harness down, it can follow the factory one underneath the vehicle. Tighten our light bar bolts. And with this you can rotate up and down so it shines where you want. And then we'll tighten the clamps. All right, we got everything tight. Now it's time to run the harness for the light bar. All right, so to attach our light bar to the front, we have this harness. You'll want to run it, but you want to make sure you run the right side. So plug one end in to make sure you can't accidentally run it backwards and then be annoyed later when you go to plug them in and it's gender confused there with the pins not matching up. We'll run it down the back of this roll cage form. I have a little OCD with this, so we'll run it down the back, front corner of it. There we go. We'll hit this with a couple zip ties. Alright, so we got the top part run. Cable's coming here, right in front of the roll cage. So what we'll do is we'll drop it down. There's a brace down here. Drop it down that, and we will follow it along. My turn signal harness. We put turn signals in here recently with our harness, so let's follow that routing. And this will follow over here. Let's throw it over there. Next, we're going to take the skid plate off. So the skid plate on this one has a series of these 10mm bolt heads. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So pop these 10 off. 2, 3, 4, 5. So why we did that was we want to run the harness along something solid that does not move. It's your drive shaft. You definitely don't want your harness near that. So here's our turn signal harness. So we're going to follow that along the coolant lines all the way up to the front where the factory harness also goes. So we threw this in there before. So we got that. Pull on it. This jacketed cable we use that we had made for us is nice because it's smooth and you can yank on it and nothing's going it won't catch. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up above coolant hose right here. I want to throw a couple zip ties on that to hold it in place. Here it is. So you can see right here along the top of the coolant hose, you got attached to the wire harness there, and then it's going to run up that way. So we'll get out of here. All right, so there's that harness. We'll put it over the brake lines. There, now I should be able to reach it from the top. So luckily on here, there's a lot of room. We'll fish it up along this battery cable. There it is. Pretty much perfect length. Now we have our module. She'll plug in. On the RZR, here's the diagnostic port. So we just plug into that. Here's the light bar lead. Plug our light bar lead in. Last but not least, we have our switch lead. Here's our switch. We'll feed this out through this grommet from the dash. The top of your dash will come out. There are 2 quick rivets that sit in the top middle of the dash. Pry them out with a special tool like this. You get them on Amazon. They're well worth their money, even if you're only going to do this once in your life. So we have our switch lead. We'll find the grommet in here. Shove the wire out. Leave that sit there. So our switch lead came out there. We'll plug that in. Switch just comes off like that, so we can put it in dash. We'll take out one of the blanks, snap our switch in, plug it in. Now I should be able to flip the switch. Got your light bar. And the other final test, if you turn on the key, put in reverse, we got park, reverse, neutral, all the others. All you gotta do is put your skid plate back on, zip tie this up, put your dash back together, and you're done. Really easy setup. The light bars that we include in our kit only draw a max of 3.4 amps. So we get power and ignition power from the diagnostic port to power the module and the light. We will have a higher output setup that doesn't plug into here for power. It'll plug into your pulse bar, your bus bar, whatever you got, so it'll have power, ground, and ignition coming off that. But for the light bars that we include with the backup light kits, we have this big one and we got a smaller one. So we have that big one, we also have this little one you can mount below if you don't want something as bright, but it works in the same way. This one only draws 1.5 amps. So both of them won't overwhelm the factory power circuit for the data port, and you can still unplug it, plug in a scan tool or whatever you need to do. So I'm going to slap together some zip ties here. Make sure that this doesn't hang down below into anything. Zip tie it like that. Dash, skid plate, hood, we're done. It's nice to have flush cutter. As your zip ties off flush, won't be able to rip your arm open down the road when you're working on it. Definitely gonna take this outside and dump it. All right, we got it all together. Skid plates on, dash covers on, hood's on, and that's it. Took me about half hour, 45 minutes to do it. Not too bad.